Okay, it looks as though I might have an ant issue, but let me get to cleaning and we'll see. I'm gonna roll this green stalk completely out of my way. This green stalk is holding water in the bottom and I don't know why. And it would require me taking all of these towers off to figure it out. My guess is it must have some dirt trapped under it. I wish you guys could see how many things I do in a short period of time trying to film. I always have a project on top of a project. So in this instance, I'm cooking. So I came out, I harvested cilantro and went back in, cooked, then came back out. I actually forgot that I was trying to even get the blower. Alright guys, the next thing I want to show you is not this squash, but I did buy more squash. Or this is a melon, a dulce melon, and then just some squash I need to take down and plant. I want to show you my potato project. So in these upper green stalk beds, I planted some potatoes. I had some sprouting potatoes in the house. I cut them up so each one had an eye, and I just planted them in the green stalk just to see if they would take off and see if I could get new potatoes or baby potatoes out of it. And I have potatoes growing out of here. So I'm going to add some soil into here to get this started. I'm going to also take this black cow and add it to some plants. That's black cow compost, and add it to the new garden bed, which I'm going to show you. That one's not looking good. I'm going to pull that one. That one's looking good. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some new potatoes. I need to invest in a soil scoop. So what I'm going to do is, this is not the best tool to do this. I'm going to fill this pocket all the way up and try to bury this sprout as much as possible, which obviously I can only bury it up to the top line. If I felt like picking this up, which I don't, but I think just for the sake of not making a mess, I'm gonna pick this back up. Oh goodness gracious. I did not bargain for all this morning. It's all the way up to the top now. So we should get some new potatoes. I got the other garden bed and it is taller than these. I don't know what these are called, but this is the Keter Urban Excel garden bed. Let's take a closer look at it. The legs on this Urban Excel are metal. They are metal. These are plastic. These tomatoes, I'm gonna prune this off because I'm going to actually only have one single vine, because I think these are indeterminate tomatoes. So I'm gonna start training them down to one vine. Oh, this one has a long sucker, but I'm gonna take all these bottom ones off. And I'm gonna get these trained to where they have one strong vine. But back to the Keter. So you can tell I have enough space to turn and work each garden bed. I love the height difference because it just looks good. It's starting to look like a jungle out here and I love it. Everything is getting full. I gotta show you guys around. But the height difference I really love because this is in the back, so I'm not having to reach as much. I just really like this garden bed. I want to put this black cow manure on it, on the bed, because I'm supposed to get some rain. One way to tell you have good soil is the presence of fungi. So look at all these mushrooms. These are not edible mushrooms. These are just mushrooms that have popped up. I have garlic planted back there. That's the little green things. This is actually turmeric. And up here I have planted, you can see right there, part of it. I have planted ginger. Now, I don't know if this ginger is going to take off. I might have to uproot it and just eat it and go to the store and find some ginger that looks more like it's going to take off. Let's just do a garden tour. Some of the seedlings I planted, remember I planted these, they have come up. The dragon bean has beautiful purple flowers. It's starting to come up. I planted some seedlings somewhere else. Right here, these seedlings have come up. You see how big the beans are. The beanstalk is just doing really well. You know that the lettuce is doing well. The basil is out of control. I'm gonna have to pick some of that. I have tomatoes. Look how beautiful that is. And I forgot even what kind of tomato plant this is. There is moss growing in there, so that lets you know there's not much sunlight getting in there, and yet there's a tomato plant back there growing also. Look at these tomatoes. Just beautiful. If you want to boost your gardening confidence, get cilantro. The more you pull it, the more it just comes back. This will boost your confidence. We have Meyer or Mayer lemons that are getting really full. It rained, and so everything is getting full. These are the tomato plants that I got from Azure that to me they just don't look good, but they're hanging in there, so we'll just roll with it. And I'm training them so that they are one vine. I need to, and you can do this with shears. I just pop it off with my hand. There's some fungi in here letting me know my soil is optimal. And then this is the back bed. I planted some pansy in this bed. Pansy grow well with tomatoes, just like the marigolds do. These are French marigolds, and you can tell they have a bit of a maroon tint to them. They're beautiful. And over here, I forget what kind of marigolds these are. If I find the tag, I'll let you know. And then over there, I also have some pansy. So my nasturtium is leaning towards the sun. All those little sprouts, I don't know what a couple of them are, but I know the broader ones, that is basil. I've planted a bunch of basil. Not sure what this is, but it's coming up. And then the top tier, of course. I did have some lemon cucumbers that I planted pop up, and other things that I don't know what it is. For instance, I forgot what these two seedlings are that I planted. Completely forgot. It's late, y'all, but I want to get these planted. So let's go. On our way down, we might as well take a look at the growth on these plants. Look at this cucumber. How am I even gonna make it downstairs? Look at this. Oh, this cucumber has flowers already. Look at that. So I am going to turn it. I'm gonna have to put something down here for it to climb on, probably a piece of wire. So that'll be a quick project we can do. Okay, y'all, we are down in the garden bed, and I've got corn that has popped up everywhere, but I need to get this. Oh, this is a melon. This is gonna go over there actually. But I have another squash that I need to plant. This squash is looking terrible, and I actually think I'm gonna pull it, and it's just not healthy. Just not healthy. So I think I may pull it and put in another one. I just had beans up here. None of the squash up here looks good. I don't know why. I went ahead and planted this. I didn't realize I didn't have the camera on. I got it in. I need to get it watered. And I'm going to tarp that because the weeds are just getting out of control. Oh, that's not good. Y'all all right? Show y'all something I have growing over here. I thought it was I planted a bunch of flowers, but I actually have pokeweed over here, or poke salad, which you can eat in its young form, but I believe this is way beyond its young form, but the berries can be used medicinally, so I'm gonna let it grow. So before I was big into gardening, I was big into eat the weeds, which is, you know, when you cut your grass, you smell the wild onion. Well, that allium or that onion is often edible. And I say often because you really need to do your research and study before you go eating stuff. But that was what I did. I studied the native plants, indigenous to the state I was living in, and took some classes. And so I love finding medicinal plants and edible plants. I believe this plant is edible. I believe it's a big mulberry, and that would actually be a huge blessing. I'm gonna use this app and see what this is. And it's definitely a red mulberry tree. So this is something that I did not have to plant. It is just, so there is the berry, and the berry is pretty big. You see they're pretty big. And it has a ton of them. Oh, it's tart. It's tart and very wild tasting. It's juicy though, wow. Good morning, y'all. It's the next day, and we are gonna go down to the lower garden and plant these two pumpkins, and I like blue pumpkins, obviously. I planted one seed right there, and I planted two seeds in this pot, one right there, one right there. This looks great. Those look much better. I'm gonna do two. I'm going to keep these pokeweeds, but I read that the berries are highly toxic to children, and because I have a toddler but also a teenager who tends to taste things, I'm gonna go ahead and take these out, but I'm gonna get a shovel to do it. I have several I'm trying not to run into a spider web. I have several strawberry plants growing down here, and oh yeah, they're actually getting strawberries. That's nice. But I think that I'm gonna take these up onto the deck because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Wow. I went and got a Connecticut field pumpkin seed, and this is just a small pie type orange pumpkin, and I'm gonna plant this in the lower garden as well. We're going to start, so these are connected with some little bread tie type things. If you remember from last video, this is what we're going to use to do a green stalk hack. A green stalk is better, of course. It has more pockets. The ingenuity of the green stalk is just genius. And it rolls well. That's good. Okay. My least favorite thing. This, guys. I am so glad that I moved this. I couldn't figure out why the olives on this one were getting bigger. There's the olives. But the olives on this one were staying the same. This pot that it was in, I just took this pot and set it in here. I didn't replant it. but the plug was in the hole. So this plant was drowning. And I'm so thankful that I just decided to move it so it could get rain today or last night and sun. And I'm so glad I did, because and I can see the olives are already swelling. If I hadn't, it would have drowned and died, and I would have lost all these olives. So I'm so thankful. I just praise God that I picked it up. And when I moved it, it just smelled like ill, like you know how stagnant water smells. That's what I smelled, and I'm like, ew. So I lifted the plant up, and I mean, the pot was about this full of water. It was terrible. What I did was I went and put some Epsom salt in here, because it will support these plants and help them with the transplant shock. You want to really rinse them off. Okay. Now, I read that thyme is a good companion plant for strawberries. Golden lemon thyme. For now, I'm gonna put it on top. Okay, so Greenstock was having their Mother's Day sale, which is over today. I don't know if they would honor this price, but by the time you see this video, this sale will be over. Where the 7-tier leaf is $124. I have a 5-tier leaf. I didn't want the 7-tier because I wanted a shorter one. So I wanted to give you a side-by-side comparison of the Greenstock versus the Aldi hack. Obviously, the Greenstock is far superior. I have way more plants in the Greenstock. I have 2 bean plants per Greenstock pocket, and in the 5-tier, I have 30 pockets. And you see the height difference. Even if I were to add the other 3 onto this, I would only have 18, and it would be slightly taller than the Greenstock. I will probably end up adding the other 3 on top, just to have more strawberries, because I have a large family, and this is a come out, pick and eat. This isn't for canning or preserving or making jam, even though you can grab a few and make a fresh jam. You can see that the Greenstock is far superior as far as the amount of pockets it has and what it can do. This, if you notice, these are more like pots, where the Greenstock is like pockets. The pockets don't come out that far, and they are able to have a whole lot more, a tighter space. This is just like having 3 pots connected together and they're stacked. This does, if you're on a balcony like I am, or a deck, this still will give you height, but you won't have as much planting space. But the savings is significant with this. If you don't want to plant as many things, I have 60 beans planted, just short of 60 beans planted in the Greenstock. In this, I only have 9 strawberries and obviously my 1 orange thyme planted. But the price for these 3 was $12. They come together like you saw. The rolling base, because I needed something to roll it on, was only $6. Here we have something that only cost $18 versus something that is $124. So if you're just starting out, strawberries are one of those plants that give you great reward as well. I know where I live, they will come back every year. In all the states I have lived in, they've actually survived winter, even snow, and came back. These are ever-bearing strawberries, so they will bear all throughout the summer. There's another type of strawberry called June bearing, and those are more for like if you want to can and make jams. They will all fruit in June. So all June long you will have strawberries. June, July, you will have strawberries, and you will have them in mass. So you'll pick them all, you'll can them all, do whatever. I wanted a snacking tower, so I got the Everbearing strawberry, or we have traditionally always had the Everbearing strawberries because I wanted to snack. As far as price goes, $18 for this setup. My strawberry plants were free because I already had them. Can't remember how much my time was. But you can go to a big box store and get a hanging basket of strawberries. The hanging basket is $18. You don't want it for the hanging basket. You want it because there's going to be 6 to 7 strawberry plants, and at this time of year they will have thrown out their runners, so you will have baby strawberries. So when you see the vine and a little strawberry plant on that, count that as an extra strawberry plant. I went to the big box store yesterday because I was going to buy strawberries to plant in here. I didn't realize how many I had, and I counted one hanging basket had 8 plants in it. Now from the store, they're putting 5 to 6 in it. So it had already produced, it had already, gave more money. And so I calculated that over the price of the hanging basket, and it turned out that each plant was right around $2 per plant, which is a total steal because if you buy them individually at the big box stores, they're about $5 a piece. Side-by-side comparison, you see that obviously the green stalk is superior, but if you would like a more inexpensive option, go to Aldi and look. Aldi, I think I've also seen something like this in Walmart, but I'm not sure how much it costs in Walmart. So for a side-by-side comparison, this is the more expensive option, and you can actually have a really nice potted garden. It ain't over. I wanted to tell y'all, I figured out what I planted in the pockets. Those sprouts that came up are these 2 plants right here, the cue ball squash and the container variety summer squash. Thank you for joining me today, guys. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. The Lord bless and keep you and make his face shine upon you. Until next time.